Close your eyes gently, without effort. There is nothing you need to watch for anymore, nothing you need to prepare for. This moment is not asking you to be strong, alert, or in control. Right now, you are allowed to stop trying. You are allowed to rest. So much of your energy has been spent holding things together, trying to make sure nothing goes wrong, trying to stay ahead of fear, uncertainty, or disappointment. Even when your body is tired, your mind may have learned to keep working, believing that effort is the only way to stay safe. Tonight, you are invited to discover something softer. Safety does not come from trying harder. Safety comes from letting go. As you lie here, notice how your body responds when it hears that it can stop. Your shoulders may relax slightly. Your breath may deepen on its own. Your jaw may unclench. These small changes are signs that your body recognizes permission. It knows how to rest when it feels allowed to. You do not need to earn this rest. You do not need to justify it. You do not need to explain yourself to anyone. You have already done enough for today. The world does not need you to keep pushing through the night. Life is not demanding your effort right now. In fact, life is offering you something else entirely: support. Support that does not require understanding. Support that does not ask questions. Support that simply holds you. If your mind resists this idea, that's okay. Resistance is often a habit, not a truth. The habit of trying has been with you for a long time. It may not disappear instantly. Greet it gently. You don't need to argue with it. You can simply remind it that this moment is different. Nothing bad will happen if you stop trying for a while. Nothing important will be lost. Nothing will fall apart. Trying has never been a requirement for your worth. You were worthy of rest the moment you existed, long before you learned to push yourself, long before you learned to stay strong, long before you learned to carry more than your share. Tonight, you are remembering that. Imagine what it would feel like to let life take over for a few hours, to trust that things can continue without your effort, to believe that you do not have to supervise the universe for it to work correctly. This is not carelessness, this is wisdom. There is a deep intelligence moving through everything. It keeps your heart beating without instruction. It turns night into morning without effort. It knows how to guide events, timing and healing, far beyond what the mind can manage. You have trusted this intelligence your entire life, even if you were not aware of it. You can trust it now. If fear whispers, "But what if I stop and something goes wrong?" meet that thought with kindness. Fear often appears when you are close to rest, because rest feels unfamiliar after so much effort. Gently remind yourself that effort has not brought you the peace you are seeking. Softness might. Say quietly within yourself, without forcing belief, "I am safe to stop trying. I am allowed to rest. I can let life carry me now." These words are not commands. They are invitations. Your nervous system responds to invitations far more than it responds to pressure. Each time you offer yourself permission, something inside you loosens. You may notice a sense of relief, subtle but real. A feeling of not needing to be anywhere else. A feeling of not needing to become anything more. This is what it feels like when you stop trying to earn peace and allow it to arrive naturally. Peace does not come from effort. Peace comes from allowing. As this chapter comes to a close, let yourself sink a little deeper into the surface beneath you. Let the night hold you. Let life do what it knows how to do. You do not need to help it. You only need to rest. You are safe to stop trying. And that is where true rest begins. As you continue to rest, you may notice a gentle resistance to the idea of letting go. This resistance does not mean you are doing anything wrong. It simply means your mind has learned to associate control with safety. For a long time, holding on, thinking ahead, and staying prepared may have felt like the only way to protect yourself. Tonight, instead of judging that habit, you are invited to understand it with compassion. Letting go feels hard because your mind learned its patterns during moments when certainty felt necessary. Perhaps there were times when being alert helped you avoid pain, disappointment, or chaos. Your mind remembers those moments. It tries to keep you safe by replaying possibilities, reviewing the past, and anticipating the future. This is not weakness. It is learned protection. You were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. Over time, this protection can turn into exhaustion. The mind stays active even when there is no immediate danger. It forgets how to rest. And when you finally slow down, it may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. That discomfort is not a warning. It is simply a sign that you are stepping out of an old habit. You do not need to force yourself to let go. You do not need to push the mind into silence. You only need to understand why it has been holding on. When you understand something, it no longer needs to fight for your attention. The mind softens when it feels seen. You can quietly acknowledge it and say, I know you were trying to help. That acknowledgement alone can bring relief. Letting go also feels hard because you may have been taught that rest is earned, not given, that peace comes after everything is solved, that relaxing too soon is irresponsible. These beliefs run deep, but they are not truths. They are stories passed down through experience. Tonight, you are allowed to question them gently. What if rest is not the reward at the end of effort? What if rest is what allows clarity to return? What if letting go is not dangerous, but healing? Notice how your body responds to these questions. There may be a softening or perhaps a hesitation. Both are welcome. There is no right response. Awareness itself is the beginning of release. You are not being asked to let go of everything all at once. You are only being invited to loosen your grip just a little. Even a small release is enough to create space. And in that space, calm begins to grow. If fear arises, fear of losing control, fear of missing something important, meet it gently. Fear often shows up when you are close to change. It does not mean you are in danger. It means you are learning something new. You can remind yourself quietly, I am safe right now. I do not need to solve anything tonight. I can return to this later. These reminders are not promises about the future. They are truths about the present moment, and the present moment is safe. Letting go is not an act of neglect. It is an act of trust. Trust that life does not depend entirely on your vigilance. Trust that there is support beyond your effort. Trust that you are allowed to rest without everything falling apart. You may not fully believe this yet, and that is okay. Belief grows naturally when the body feels safe. Tonight, you are not being asked to believe. You are only being asked to allow. Allow yourself to feel how tired you are. Allow yourself to notice how much you've been holding. Allow yourself to consider that you don't have to carry it all right now. As this understanding settles in, something inside you begins to relax. The need to hold on loosens. The pressure to stay alert fades. You are not losing control. You are gaining ease. Letting go feels hard only because holding on has been familiar. But familiarity does not mean necessity. Tonight you are learning a new rhythm, one that includes rest, softness, and trust. And that rhythm will carry you gently forward, one breath at a time. As you rest more deeply now, allow yourself to explore a gentle idea, one that may feel unfamiliar at first, yet deeply comforting when you let it in. Life works better when you surrender, not because you stop caring, but because you stop resisting. Surrender is not giving up on yourself or your dreams. It is choosing to stop fighting the moment you are in. For a long time, you may have believed that effort is what keeps life moving, that if you don't push, plan, or stay alert, things will fall apart. This belief often comes from moments when you had to be strong, when you had to figure things out on your own. That strength carried you far. But strength does not mean you must stay tense forever. Surrender is what allows strength to rest. When you surrender, you are not handing your life over to chaos. You are handing it over to flow. Flow is the natural movement of life, quiet, intelligent, and steady. It does not rush. It does not force. It finds its way gently, often more effectively than effort ever could. Notice how surrender feels different from control. Control tightens the body. It keeps the breath shallow and the mind busy. Surrender softens the body. It allows the breath to deepen. It gives the mind permission to pause. Your body already knows this difference. It responds immediately when you soften. You are not being asked to surrender everything at once. You are only being asked to stop gripping so tightly. There may be a part of you that fears surrender. It may whisper, "If I let go, I'll lose something important." Greet that fear kindly. Fear is simply a habit of protection. It does not mean surrender is unsafe. It means surrender is new. You can remind yourself gently, "I can surrender this moment. I do not need to control everything tonight. I am allowed to trust." Trust does not need certainty to exist. Trust grows when you allow yourself to experience safety without effort, and safety is what this moment offers you. Think of how many things in your life have worked out without your control. The timing you couldn't plan, the help that arrived unexpectedly, the clarity that came after you stopped forcing an answer. These moments were not accidents. They were signs that life knows how to move. You do not need to supervise life for it to work. Surrender is simply cooperation with something wiser than worry. It is allowing life to do what it has always done: guide, balance, and restore. When you surrender, you are not stepping back from life. You are stepping into alignment with it. As you lie here, imagine what it would feel like to place everything you are holding into gentle hands that are not your own. You don't need to know whose hands they are. You only need to know that they are steady, that they are patient, that they are capable. You are not abandoning responsibility by surrendering tonight. You are choosing rest, and rest is what allows clarity to return. The mind often believes it must stay busy to be useful, but some of the most important shifts happen when the mind becomes quiet. Insight arises, perspective changes, peace settles in. These things cannot be forced. They arrive when space is created. Surrender creates space. As that space opens, you may notice a sense of relief, subtle, gentle, but real. Your body feels less guarded. Your thoughts feel less urgent. This is not something you are doing wrong. This is something you are doing right. You are learning that you do not have to push life forward. You can let life meet you. Surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the wisdom of knowing when to soften. The wisdom of knowing that you do not need to hold everything together alone. The wisdom of trusting that life supports you even when you are still. Tonight, surrender looks like resting your body. It looks like slowing your breath. It looks like allowing peace to exist without explanation. And as you continue to rest, surrender becomes less of an idea and more of a feeling of being carried instead of carrying, a feeling of being supported instead of striving. That feeling will stay with you as the night deepens, guiding you gently toward rest. As the night grows quieter around you, allow yourself to receive a gentle truth. You are not responsible for holding the entire world together. Even now, as you rest, life continues to move with quiet intelligence. The universe does not pause when you stop thinking. It does not lose its way when you close your eyes. In fact, it often works most smoothly when you step out of the way. You may have spent a long time believing that if you didn't stay alert, something would go wrong, that if you relaxed too much, you might miss something important. But tonight, you are invited to notice that nothing is asking for your vigilance. Nothing is demanding your effort. This moment is safe, and life is capable of carrying itself. While you rest, Your body knows how to restore balance. Your breath finds its rhythm. Your nervous system recalibrates. Your mind begins to sort through the day, keeping what matters and gently releasing what doesn't. You are not directing this process. You never had to. It happens naturally, guided by a wisdom that lives deeper than thought. And just as your body is cared for while you sleep, your life is also being cared for. You do not need to stay awake to make things align. You do not need to worry to be responsible. You do not need to force outcomes to be safe. Imagine placing everything you've been holding, your plans, your questions, your fears, into a space larger than yourself. You don't have to name this space, you only have to feel its steadiness. It holds without effort, it supports without conditions. It does not rush you or judge where you are. This is what it feels like to be supported by life itself. If your mind questions this, that's okay. Doubt is simply a habit of caution. You don't need to argue with it. You can gently remind yourself that many things in your life have worked out without your constant involvement. There were nights you slept and woke to solutions you didn't plan. Moments when clarity arrived after you stopped forcing it. Those moments were not coincidences. They were signs that life knows how to move. As you lie here, feel the surface beneath you holding your body completely. You are not holding yourself up. In the same way, you are not holding your life up by yourself. Support is already present, even if you are not always aware of it. You are allowed to lean into that support. You are allowed to rest into it. You are allowed to trust it. The universe does not need your anxiety to function. It does not require your overthinking to guide you. Guidance continues even in silence. Timing continues even in stillness. Progress continues even while you sleep. Tonight, nothing important is being missed. Nothing is falling behind. Nothing is being neglected. If fear whispers that letting go is risky, meet it with kindness. Fear often appears when you are close to rest, because rest feels unfamiliar after so much effort. Gently reassure yourself that you are safe enough to relax. This moment is not asking you to solve your life. It is asking you to rest inside it. You may want to whisper softly within yourself, "Life is taking care of me. I do not need to control everything. I am supported." Let these words sink in slowly, not as ideas to analyze, but as feelings to receive. Your body understands them. Your breath responds to them. Your mind begins to quiet when it realizes it does not need to stay on guard. The universe is not distant or cold. It is present in the rhythm of your breath, in the steadiness of the night, in the quiet assurance that you are still here and still supported. You do not need to earn this support. You are part of it. As this chapter comes to a close, allow yourself to sink deeper into rest. Let the night do its work. Let life handle what you no longer need to carry. You are not alone in this moment. You are being supported, and everything is being taken care of. Now that your body feels supported and your mind has softened, this is a gentle moment to allow calming affirmations to settle within you. These words are not here to push you toward change or effort. They are here to remind you of safety, trust, and ease. You do not need to focus on them or repeat them perfectly. Simply let them flow through you like a quiet rhythm arriving where they are needed most. At this depth of rest, your subconscious mind is open and receptive. It listens to tone and feeling more than meaning. Even if your thoughts drift, even if sleep begins to come and go, these affirmations continue to reach the deeper parts of you that are ready to release. Begin by noticing your breath. Natural, slow, effortless, and gently allow these affirmations to arise within you. I allow life to take over now. I release the need to control. I am safe to rest. Notice how your body responds when it hears that it is safe. Muscles soften, breathing deepens, the need to stay alert begins to fade. Your nervous system recognizes reassurance immediately and responds with calm. I trust the flow of life. I trust that everything is unfolding as it should. I do not need to force anything. These words are not instructions. They are invitations. And invitations are always met with kindness. You are not required to believe them fully for them to work. Your willingness to listen is enough. I let go of the day with ease. I release mental tension. I welcome peace. Let there be space between the words. In that space, your mind rests. In that space, healing happens. You are learning that silence is not something to fear. Silence is where restoration begins. I am supported even when I am still. I am guided even when I do not see the path. Life is carrying me. If a thought appears, allow it to pass without engagement. You do not need to answer it. You do not need to follow it. Thoughts can exist without controlling you. This is a gentle freedom, and it arrives naturally. I am allowed to receive support. I am allowed to relax deeply. I am allowed to sleep. Notice how kind these words feel. There is no pressure in them, no expectation, only permission. Permission tells your inner world that it can finally stop trying so hard. Everything is being taken care of. I do not need to stay awake. I can rest now. As these affirmations continue, imagine them settling into your body like warmth. They move through your chest, your arms, your legs, all the way to your feet. They are not pushing anything out. They are simply filling you with calm. You may notice your awareness becoming softer, less defined. This is natural. This is the mind learning to rest. You are not losing control. You are gaining peace. I trust life to support me. I trust myself to rest. I trust this moment. Let the affirmations grow quieter now, like a lullaby fading into the background. The feeling remains even when the words do not. That feeling of being held, of being supported, stays with you as sleep draws closer. You do not need to remember every word. Your subconscious remembers what matters. As the night continues, allow yourself to drift freely. There is nothing else required. These affirmations will continue working gently and lovingly throughout your sleep, reinforcing trust, ease, and surrender. For now, let the words fade. Let the feeling remain. Let life take over. As this night gently carries you forward, allow yourself to rest in a quiet knowing that does not need words. There is nothing left to do in this moment, nothing left to solve, nothing left to hold together. You have arrived at a place where rest is not just allowed, it is enough. Notice how stillness feels now. Not empty, not lonely, but full of space, full of calm, full of permission. This is the stillness that heals, not by effort, but by allowing everything to settle back into balance. You are not behind in life. You are not late. You are not missing anything meant for you. Tomorrow does not require your attention tonight. Tomorrow will come when it is ready, bringing with it the clarity, energy, and understanding you need. You do not have to prepare for it by staying awake. Rest is what prepares you best. As you lie here, imagine tomorrow already unfolding gently, without pressure. The right moments are arranging themselves. The next steps are forming quietly. You do not need to rush toward them. They will meet you naturally, just as morning meets the night. Let your breath be slow and effortless. Let your body sink fully into the surface beneath you. Let your thoughts drift without direction. There is wisdom in letting things unfold on their own. Just as the sun rises without being forced, your life continues to move forward even when you rest. You have trusted this rhythm your entire life, often without realizing it. Tonight, you are trusting it consciously. You are allowed to sleep without answers. You are allowed to sleep without certainty. You are allowed to sleep without fear. Everything that truly matters will still be there when you wake, only lighter, clearer, and easier to face, because you chose rest over strain. Sleep is not avoidance. Sleep is renewal. It restores your ability to meet life with openness instead of exhaustion. If a final thought passes through your mind, let it pass gently. You do not need to follow it. You do not need to understand it. Thoughts lose their power when you stop feeding them. Peace grows naturally when you stop resisting it. You may feel a sense of release now, as if something heavy has been set down. That weight does not belong in the night. The night is for restoration, for surrender, for trust. You can leave everything else here, knowing it will not be lost. All is well in this moment. You are supported. You are safe. Life is not asking anything more of you right now. There is no test to pass, no role to perform, no expectation to meet. You are allowed to rest simply because you exist. As sleep approaches, allow yourself to drift without effort. Let go of the need to stay aware. Let go of the need to listen closely. Even if these words fade into silence, their feeling remains steady, comforting, reassuring. You have done enough for today. You have been enough today. You can rest now. Let the night carry you forward. Let tomorrow wait patiently. Everything that needs to meet you will arrive at the right time, in the right way, without force. For now, rest deeply, trust completely, and let peace take over.